נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לי, לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לי, לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. It's so good to be with my brothers. It's so good to be with my sisters. It's so good to be with my community. It's so good to be with each other. Hine hine ma tov ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine hine ma tov ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is to be with my brothers. How good it is to be with my sisters. How good it is to be with my friends. How good it is to be with everyone. Hine hine ma tov ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. And this time between Purim and Pesach, I want to remember one of the great singers and songwriters, Flori Jagoda, who made Ladino music come to life. And she used to sing a song that we used to do with our kids. And I want to sing it for you tonight. And most of it is just a nigun. Aman, 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 el Dios bendicho más da más da. Aman, 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 el Dios bendicho más da más da. Purim, Purim, Purim lano, Pesach, Pesach ala mano. Ay, 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 lai, lai, lai. I'm da 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 da. Here we go, aman, aman. Aman, 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 aman. El Dios bendicho más da más da. Aman, 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 aman. El Dios bendicho más da más da. You hear the word mazal in there because the women would go to the center of the city and bake. The men would go and bake the matzot, and the women would come and collect them. And they also hoped to collect some young men. Aman, 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 aman. I think that's why this song has such a feel to it. El Dios bendicho más da más da. Aman, 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 aman. El Dios bendicho más da más da.
Thank you, Hazan Stein. What a nice warm-up for our Shabbat. That's so great. Oh, I just want everybody to just take a deep breath. Just bring it in and let it out. Whatever you're doing today, let's just put it behind us and go in Shabbat. Bring in that Shabbat fragrance one more time, that beautiful breath, purity. Just bring it in, let it out. I love Shabbat. Just forces me to recenter myself, right? That for all of you and to get back in touch, even if we don't want to figure out how to reconnect. And that's what we're going to share together, a little bit of Shabbos together. You're going to be able to follow, of course, in the Siddur that we use, the Lev Shalem, and those are the pages that we'll call. If you have other prayer books, we're going to start at page 16, Or Zarua, except Chazan, you have a special
I have a special Or Zarua. I can't wait for everybody to see. This is the premiere performance, and the words are on it. There are some English words, so it also helps as well. But I hope you enjoy it. It's a special surprise.
Join us in Or Zarua La Tzadik. Live a life of goodness. Be the righteous one. Live a life of kindness. Be the righteous one. Live a life of holiness. Be the righteous one. And let your heart shine out. Or Zarua La. Let your heart shine out. Or Zarua La 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 Tzadik. Or Zarua, Or Zarua La 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 Tzadik. Will you share life, Simcha? Will you share life, Simcha? Hey, Shabbat Shalom.
That was so sweet. As the comment said, another Rolling Stein, another generation. There you go. That was just so sweet, Chaz. We're going to continue with our service with Lecha Dodi. We'll find page 23. We'll do the first stanza together, and then we will we'll move to the last stanza on page 25. If you have a door near you, you'd like to open it up and welcome in the Shabbat bride, we encourage you to do so. Chaz, take us away, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nikabla. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nikabla. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Ishmi'anu el hamayuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, v'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat, nikabla. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat, nikabla. בואי ושלום עטרת מעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת, נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת, נקבלה.
So nice to be in your homes on Shabbat. Some of you still finishing dinner or dessert or whatever you got there. Maybe it's Girl Scout cookies, I'm not sure, but it's always a pleasure to see you all celebrating. We're going to continue with Mizmor Shir. And Hans, I think you have some words.
Yes, I have the words, but I'm having a little difficulty here. Hold on. You're not seeing them yet, are you? Okay.
You're not.
All right. Well,
I'm seeing you. You look very nice.
Thank you. There you go. That should share.
There you go.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lahodot l'Adonai. מזמור שיר ליום השבת ולזמר לשמך עליון. Sing a song of Shabbat. It's good to sing God's praise. Sing a song of Shabbat. Exalted is God's name. Morning and evening, b'nevel v'chinor. On the strings of the harp, we sing unto the Lord. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lahodot l'Adonai. מזמור שיר ליום השבת ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק התמר יפרח, the righteous flourish like a palm. Standing right, standing tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Morning and evening, b'nevel v'chinor. On the strings of the harp, we sing unto the Lord. Morning and evening, b'nevel v'chinor. On the strings of the harp, we sing unto the Lord.
I love that one. Who wrote that?
Mike Stein.
Mike Stein. I love that one. Wow. You're just amazing, Hans. That was just beautiful. All right, we're going to continue with the Baruch Hu. I invite you to rise, page 39A, everybody.
Yai la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Lie, 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 lie. Baruch hu et Adonai hamivorach. Baruch המבורך לעולם ועד. המבורך, המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. Let's sing together. Yai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la.
Page 40. You may be seated, by the way, those of you still standing. All right. We're going to continue on page 40 to Ki Hem Chayenu.
Ki Hem Chayenu ve'orech yameinu ubahem nege yomam v'layla. Ki Hem Chayenu ve'orech yameinu ubahem nege yomam v'layla. Ki Hem Chayenu v'yorech yameinu ubahem nege yomam v'layla. Ki Hem Chayenu v'yorech yameinu ubahem nege yomam v'layla. Ki Hem Chayenu v'yorech yameinu ubahem nege yomam v'layla. Ki Hem Chayenu ve'orech yameinu ubahem nege yomam v'layla. Ve'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Page 41, we continue the words of the Shema. I invite you to close your eyes on these 6 first words of the Shema about oneness of life, the universe, of all wholeness as we connect therein. And then after those 6 words, we open our eyes and we continue first silently with Baruch Shem and the Hafta as we join with Chazan.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. והיום שמות אשר נקים בצפקך יאמר ויאמר אדוני לאמור דבר בני ישראל ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם ודורתם ורחמו ציצית למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
Michamocha, who is like unto you, O God, the celebration of the Israelites crossing through the Sea of Reeds. I can't believe Haji mentioned Passover coming. It's just 3 weeks away, which seems just so ridiculous. And are you ready for it? No, it's a 3. It's going to come no matter what. You know, what are we going to do? 2020 seemed to last forever, and then all of a sudden, Passover's here. And how did that happen? Anyway, Micha Mocha, we continue. You'll find on page 44.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, ומי כמוך נדר בקודש תורה, תהילו עושה פלא. Again, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, ומי כמוך נדר בקודש תורה, תהילו עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה. זה אלי ענו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש תורה, תהילו עושה פלא. אדוני את יעקב, יעלו מיד חזק ממנו, מיד חזק ממנו. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש תורה, תהילו עושה פלא, עושה פלא. ברוך אתה אדוני גא ישראל.
Love how some of our families know how to have a good time there. I think the rest most of us win for partying during Shabbat services. But if you're talking about a party you won, Andrea, I think you win. You seem to always enjoy even on your own there. Anyway, we're going to continue with Hashki Venu. Kaz, you shared with me this is actually a composition by a friend of mine, Rabbi Ken Chase.
Yes, he was part of the group that sang it. Actually, as I look at it, his name isn't there, but I think he had something to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't. All right. So here we go. I'll blame it on someone else. My son told me he wrote it. Okay. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim Ufros aleinu Sukat Shalomecha Ufros aleinu Sukat Shalomecha Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. time. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom. V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha, Ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha. Amen.
I don't care who that was by. That was so darn beautiful. Wow. That was just spectacular, Hans. Thank you for sharing that. I know there's so many pieces out there. I imagine it's not always easy figuring out like what piece is going to fit and how it's going to inspire us, but you do. Just so grateful you and Chazan Mimi and the roles that you play. You know, I was thinking everybody about the pandemic and kind of what it makes us realize, right? Like all social crises, doesn't a moment like this show us the weaknesses in our society? Right? Don't you? Is that how you feel? Like, right? That the sense that things that we wouldn't notice before, or maybe we don't want to notice, right? Things that we kind of don't look at, but we want to imagine that there's equality and equity in our world. In moments like this, don't you notice it a lot more, those inequities? Who's most susceptible to the suffering during the crisis? Do the social systems in place provide equitable assistance to those all equally who are affected? Right? When in-person learning, I don't know about you, I was really moved by this. When in-person learning was quickly moved to online learning, right? Many of us learned, and you know, I don't know if you thought about it, right? How many families actually don't have Wi-Fi in their home? Right? Isn't that like, we just took for granted in our world, like everybody should have Wi-Fi. And of course, it's like, right? It's like apple pie. And actually, like everybody has it. And then we learned, you know what? Not all families can afford it. And I'm sure you heard stories about families who are actually eventually permitted to drive and park in their school parking lots in order to utilize the Wi-Fi. I mean, that's like to what extent that they couldn't, right, have their own ability. And yet we didn't have those systems in place. We just assumed we'll move everybody over. Nope, not everybody can make that move so easily. Families that can't afford a computer for each child. And we assume we live in a world in which, yeah, everybody, whatever they have. But what about families in which children had to share computers in order to be able to do their online learning? And what about families that just didn't have the space to have their own learning room, each child? Forget about room, just space. Right? I mean, we deal with families here. And I know you all, you have an office on the opposite side of the house from your spouse. I know that. Right? You just like, you need enough room. And what about people who like their eating table is their classroom? And we think about those inequities that we don't notice all the time. How about frontline workers, many of them, right? Whether it's in the food industry, right? Whether it's the custodial industry, think about all those industries and many of them health workers who as well don't have a choice about working or showing up. And many of them weren't given the protections that they needed. And yet they had to go to work every day, otherwise risk, right, food insecurity. What about those food banks that have been overwhelmed? Right? How precarious our society is, and we realize like we just are holding together and then just a crack, right, shows all of those challenges that we have. Think for a moment, those of you who are watching, are there inequities that you became aware of that you didn't think about before this pandemic? Right? Are there moments during the last year when you just thought, it's just not fair? Not everybody has the same ability to deal with these challenges, and our hearts go out to them, and we try and figure out what to do. And the truth of it is that it's supposed to motivate us this moment, not just to feel badly, not to feel that there's just a broken system, but to figure out, like, how do we fix it? How do we improve the system so that when we get out of this, and particularly that these things don't happen, right? How do we challenge ourselves? These are moments, I believe, really to wake up, and they're sad moments, and they're hard moments. And what about the ability of people, even like the vaccines that are out now? Right? You know, there's an equity, right, of socioeconomics and racial communities that were able to find and to get those vaccines. Right? Many people able to figure out the system, and others who couldn't. Someone could sit in front of a computer for hours and have that ability just to be able to find some place for an appointment that others didn't have the opportunity for. Is that an equality? Is that an equal, equitable society that we live in? What strikes me is that all these issues exist all the time. We just don't notice them, or we don't want to notice them. For me, one of the things I'm taking out of this is to look around a little bit more, to see the world for what it is, and not always be so comfortable in my own place. Many of us finally feel some hope that there's, right, an approaching exit to this crisis. Can you taste it a little bit, those of you who are out there? And can you taste it a little bit, right? Thinking about going back to school? How many kids would ever think the day, right, when they go, I want to go to school, right? Please send me, right? And the idea that the vaccinations are going to be available to everybody soon, we can taste it, and yet not everybody's going to take the vaccine. I think about the African American community with a history of clandestine testing that was just so gross, right? Isn't that right? The idea that their community, right, was testing with syphilis, like, is just reprehensible. Others who have a mistrust of government that's involved in anything. So it's interesting. The conservative movement, by the way, took this moment to be able to transform this vaccination, this moment of uncertainty, to a mitzvah. I don't know if you know this, the conservative movement actually came out with a tshuva, a rabbinic response that says that it's a mitzvah to get the vaccine. Right? It's a mitzvah. Why? It's not just about saving your own life, it's about saving other people's lives. Right? That's where, right, we elevate this act to a mitzvah itself. Like, that's where Jewish and religious values come in. And what's also amazing, by the way, you should know, is that there are even people who have written prayers for these vaccines and the moment of it. Have you ever heard of this, that there's prayers that are written? So I want to share with you one written by my good friend, Rabbi Naomi Levy. I'm going to share it with you, and I'm going to try and make these available on the website as well, and you can find them. But those of you who are about to get your vaccines, or shortly, whether it's your first or second, right, the opportunity of recognizing this mitzvah and then reciting a blessing to acknowledge the great sanctity of the moment and how this simple act can make a difference in our world. So I'm going to read it to you, this beautiful reading. And those of you who want, you can contact me, and I'm glad to send it to you. I want to put it on the website as well. And here it goes. I've been praying for this day, and now it's here. With great excitement, a touch of trepidation, and with deep gratitude, I give thanks to all the scientists who toiled day and night so that I might receive this tiny vaccination that will protect me and all souls around this world. With the pandemic still raging, I'm blessed to do my part to defeat it. Let this be the beginning of a new day, a new time of hope, of joy, of freedom, and most of all, of health. I thank you, God, for blessing me with life, for sustaining my life, and for enabling me to reach this awe-filled moment. And let us all say, Amen. May we all have the benefit of the vaccine and health and create a world in which there is greater equity, and we work towards that, the equality of all. We're going to continue with our service. Hans, how about the Shamru? Is that where we're at? Okay, great. You want to unmute yourself, and we're going to do the Shamru on page 46. You got the unmute yet? You can't get it, huh?
I got it.
There you go.
Imagine a cantor being muted. I just don't know what.
Never.
Well, Vishamru is a good choice. I'm going to play it a little bit different. The tune you know, but it's going to be fun. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Hatsi Kaddish, we continue.
יתגדל ויתגדל שמי רבה ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן יהי שמי רבם מבורך לעלם לעל מעולמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו לעילה במקום ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה ויאמרו Amen.
I'm going to invite you to rise now for the silent Amidah. We're going to begin with the Adonai Spatai, this beautiful Kavanah meditation that our hearts should be open, our mouth should be able to proclaim God's praise. And beginning page 47, and join with Chazan, please. And then we're going to go into the silent Amidah, some meditational and reflective music to help us through this most intimate moment of prayer and connection as we begin together.
Adonai Sfotai Tiftach Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha Ananana sfotai tiftach. Ananana ufi yagi tehila techa. Ose shalom bimroma, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Hey, la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la.
I love being able to make you smile or laugh. As we the great thing about being on Zoom is we can dance, we can enjoy, we can have the spirit of Shabbat and just be able to see each other in comfortable settings. It's just such a privilege and a pleasure. Kaz, we're going to go to Kiddush on page 76. Okay.
And Bob Epstein, former president, is going to, and member of our choir, is going to lead us.
All right. Mr. President, would you honor us, please?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemase bereshit ki hu yom techila lemigrae kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta V'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uveratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. I hope it's a good wine, Bob. All right, there you go.
Only the best man of Shevis in the house.
All right. We're going to continue with Aleinu, page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו בהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומי, אם הוא אלוהינו אמת מלכנו וסולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשב אותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד על כן נקבל לך בכל מיני בוסים. כך כתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
May be seated those who wish. At this moment of the mourner's Kaddish, remember the yortzites, the anniversaries of those whom we remember with such love because of the love they shared during their lifetime. On this Shabbat, remember the yortzites of Emil Barish, Andrea Borkowski, Sultanat Dalazadeh, Elias Golan, Meyer Levine, Lila Lipkin, Irving Pedowitz, Phyllis Wolf, Ruth Aker, Jean Kaplan, Gabriella Farkas, Doris Friedman, Cynthia Glazer, Sally Goldsmith, Evelyn Goodman, Bernard Kemper, George Rockmore, Elaine Rosenberg, Lottie Rosenberg, Ella Silver, Herman August, Lillian Bubman Wexler, Isidore Dubinsky, Lillian Dunn, Herbert Enoch, William Goldberg, Earl Hagen, Isidore Maurer, Rose Meyer, Henry Rose, Armin Volk, Ellen Bernstein, Harriet Cosmer, Dennis Dine, Dora Elner, Samuel Gable, Lorraine Gerson, Joseph Gottfried, Morris Green, Conrad Leitner, Richard Lopata, Bertha Machuca, Rachel Minus, David Schenfeld, Pearl Sims, John Benko, Morris Brill, Nathan Friedman, Daniel Glazer, Amalia Kardish, Sarah Kushner, Muriel Mandel, Irvin Myrovich, Jane Nelson, Rachel Plachta, Shelley Schiffman, Clifford Small, Anita Thomer, Marilyn Bachner, Sydney Bruskin, Miriam Kutz, Doris Dexter, Dorothy Friedman, Irving Goldsmith, Irving Schulman, Teresa Bazbaz, Risa Brenner, Barbara Don, Marie Carrington, Harry Lopata, Nora Page, Sylvia Posnick, Joseph Rosenberg, and Alan Sandberg. All those who are reciting Morning's Kaddish at this time, I invite you to rise, and whether you're on Zoom or live streaming, you're going to find it on page 58. If you'd like to unmute yourselves, you can do so, and you'll be able to recite the Kaddish and to be able to hear the community and everybody with you as we join together words of Kaddish. Yit gadal kadash May God establish peace in the heavens, grant peace and harmony for us, for all of Israel, and all of humanity, as we say, Amen. All right, if you'll please put yourselves on mute again until the end of our service, and we can all wish each other Shabbat Shalom. Greatly appreciate it. I just want to share with you some announcements tomorrow morning. Please join us for our virtual Shabbat morning services at 10:30. Have your lunch ready. Those of you who want to join us for Kiddush luncheon, if you haven't, it's just such a nice time. Janice, isn't it nice just to see everybody just like you would Shabbat and services? We just like spend some time together. Just come in for a little bit if you want to. It's just so beautiful to see everybody in these disconnected times. So join us as well tomorrow. Those of you who love Chazan Mimi's service in terms of sacred space, meditative, reflective, just beautiful, Sunday at 11 a.m. You'll find information on the website. Next Shabbat, we are privileged. We have B'nai Mitzvah of siblings, two brothers, Cameron and Ryan Gajar, who's going to join us on Shabbat morning. And Chaz and I will be at the synagogue for their B'nai Mitzvah with a small gathering of their family. And we hope you all got a little taste of our exciting fundraiser, right? Aliyah Grand Prix. It's going to be great. Rasmussen, this is right up your alley, right? This is, I know you've got it planned. And Druckers as well. I tell you, like, this is exactly what, in terms of a little bit of engineering program background, a little bit, figuring this out. I better see you with an entry in there. It's just going to be a lot of fun and a fundraiser as well. So I hope you'll all join with us, and we're going to learn more about that. You can go to AliyahRolls.com. Ben Horseman is the best at making this stuff up. I don't know how he does it. AliyahRolls.com. You get details and you can sign up. Check out our website for all the activities that we have going. Men's Club Cyber Activity Workshop this week. It's going to be fabulous. I'm going to be participating there, just introducing. We have Passover events. You want to learn how to run a Seder, like, if you will, virtual. And we even have 2.0, how to run it. Like, there's so many programs. You're going to see the publicity come out. We're going to help you have a wonderful Passover. That I promise you. And we have TNC groups program coming up. Druckers as well. If you want information, you can find it on our website as well. It's just they do an amazing job. I want to tell you, like, one of the most fabulous programs. They take care of themselves. They do their programming. They're committed, and we love them. And if you're in that age category, and just unmute for a second. If like, what age category are people in for this?
People with kids 18 to 30.
All right.
So like empty nesters.
Perfect. So if anybody who's watching out there who wants
you don't have to have kids to be part of the thing.
Absolutely. And you'd love to have them, wouldn't you?
Most definitely.
There you go.
You're all welcome, please.
All right, and we're always here, even if we're not always at the synagogue. All you have to do is email us. It's the best way, even better, different from don't try calling. Best thing is the email. We'll get back to you very quickly, I promise you. And just such a pleasure to share Shabbat with you. Hans, you got something to take us out of Shabbat with? A little bit of a song or something? What do you got?
Well, I was going to do a Shabbat shalom. We can do that. You ever
Let's do
heard
it.
that before?
I like that.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.